question, why are the world's best organizations at stealing secrets, the CIA, the NSA, why is it so difficult for them to actually protect their own secrets? Why are there so many leaks in these organizations? Alright guys, to start this episode, I have to do a little bit of bragging on my part. A year ago, I was listening into a lot of think tank discussions and military strategy discussions. One name that kept coming up was General H.R. McMaster, and so I got his book, Dereliction of Duty, which talks about the Vietnam War and the failures therein. I thought, this guy is a great general, great strategist, and what do you know, he becomes the new head of NSA. I know a lot of you guys have some hesitations when it comes to the Trump administration. That's fine, but just let me tell you that the world is in better hands because General H.R. McMaster is heading up the NSA. Alright guys, into today's episode. So last episode I talked about the importance and the gravity of the situation surrounding cyber offensive weapons, the ability for different countries or even non-state actors to use cyber weapons to harm other people. Today what I want to talk about is in a similar vein. It's this question of why have there been so many leaks, particularly from the United States' intelligence community. And so you've had leaks like Chelsea Manning dumping a bunch of information in State Department cables to Wikileaks. You've had the Edward Snowden revelations, which were massive revelations in around 2013. And just recently, within the last few weeks, you've had a new leak from the CIA detailing more of the CIA's tactics in trying to tap into different smartphones or smart TVs in order to spy on people. And so the question is, why is this happening? Why are there so many leaks from these intelligence agencies? Because it didn't seem like before this new era that there were nearly as many leaks. The simple answer to this question is 9/11. 9/11 is the reason why there have been so many more leaks of U.S. intelligence tactics and strategies. Why is this the case? Well, leading up to 9/11, the intelligence community in the United States, from all branches, whether it be the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, all of these different agencies were very much sequestered. There were walls built between these agencies. There wasn't a lot of information being shared between these agencies. So 9/11 occurs, and in the ensuing investigation, figuring out how did this happen, how did we let this happen, one of the glaring problems and issues that needed to be addressed was this lack of communication and dialogue between the various intelligence agencies. And so if you go back and you read like the 9/11 Commission report, which I highly recommend you do, one of the very disheartening things that's in those reports is that different agencies had all the different pieces of the pie, as it were, different pieces of the puzzle. And had they been sharing information, 9/11 very well could have been avoided. But because there was separation, because there was a lack of communication, different agencies weren't alerted to different threats and different individuals who were a part of the 9/11 scheme. Therefore, they slipped through the cracks and 9/11 occurred. So since 9/11, what has happened is the walls between these agencies have been broken down so that intelligence could be shared between these different agencies. Now, by and large, this has been a very necessary, very successful adaptation that has occurred within the U.S. intelligence agencies. Instead of being sequestered in your own little agency, you are able to co-op the hundreds of thousands of people and the billions of amounts of data points that are in all of the intelligence agencies, and you can co-op them, you can share information, you can better identify threats. Now here's the problem. Originally, before 9/11, if you worked in the CIA, or you worked in the NSA, or you worked in the Defense Intelligence Agency, you really only had access to your own little piece of the pie. You didn't get the full picture of what was actually going on. Nowadays, Chelsea Manning, who was then Bradley Manning, as an intelligence officer in the U.S. Army in Baghdad, could actually tap in through his computer, tap into all of these resources that before 9/11 were not available to him. So he could tap into all of these resources, gather all these resources, put them on a CD-ROM, and leak them into WikiLeaks, right? And it's because he had access to all of these various sources of intelligence. Same thing with Edward Snowden, same thing with now the CIA. And even more important than that, because these walls came down, more and more people had greater and deeper access to intelligence. So it wasn't just that the walls came down and you had more access to a broader range. You actually had more people who had more access to deeper levels of intelligence because it was needed. It was necessary to fight the war on terror. And so, how did a NSA contractor in Hawaii, how did an army officer in Baghdad, and how did this new CIA source who knows where all have access to so much information? It's because the walls came down and more people were able to get top security clearances. And why is this? Because of 9/11. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I hope you learned more about the scope of the U.S. intelligence agencies and also why the U.S. intelligence community is much more prone or susceptible to leaks. All right, guys, what do you think? What do you think about these leaks? What do you think about the scope of the intelligence agencies? Comment below. Let me know. Share the video, subscribe to the channel, and remember, guys, reality always trumps ideology.